Today, we're cracking open an ancient wellness playbook that has some surprisingly modern and practical applications. If you've ever felt like your career success is kind of coming at the expense of your actual health, then you're really going to want to stick around for this.
So let's just get right to it. You're absolutely crushing it at work, right? You're hitting deadlines, you're getting promotions, but behind the scenes, you feel completely and utterly run down. Sound familiar? Yeah, it's a paradox so many of us know all too well.
I mean, does this list look a little too familiar? That feeling of being wired but tired? Those daily energy slumps that hit you like a ton of bricks? The annoying digestive issues? And that brain fog that makes it almost impossible to focus? If you're nodding along right now, you are definitely in the right place.
So what's the deal here? Why does professional success so often feel like it's literally at war with our own well-being? Let's dig into the root causes. And here's the thing, it's not just random bad luck. The sources we looked at point to 5 very specific issues, things that are deeply embedded in our modern work culture that are quietly sabotaging our health. Okay, so first step, constant stress. The deadlines, the pressure, it just floods our bodies with cortisol, messing with our sleep and digestion. Then you've got chaotic eating habits. We skip meals or we eat way too late. Add in a sedentary desk life that basically grinds our metabolism to a halt, and we fuel ourselves with processed foods that offer zero real energy. And finally, we're just not present. We're mindlessly eating at our desks, totally ignoring what our bodies are trying to tell us. So what's the fix? Well, this is where Ayurveda comes in, and it offers some surprisingly practical solutions for these very modern problems. The goal isn't to totally overhaul your life, but simply to realign it. So the core concept you got to understand here is Agni. Think of it as your body's metabolic engine, or its digestive fire. When that fire is burning strong, you efficiently process everything. Food, thoughts, even stress. But when it's weak, that's when you're left with indigestion, bloating, and that constant fatigue. Now, a weak Agni creates something called ama. And the absolute best way to picture ama is as internal sludge. It's basically undigested waste that clogs up your system. This is what leads to that sluggish feeling and low immunity. So the key takeaway is simple, right? A strong digestive fire prevents this sludge from ever building up in the first place. And this really highlights the difference in approach. Modern burnout culture treats the symptoms. More coffee for fatigue, antacids for indigestion. These are just band-aids. Ayurveda goes way deeper. It aims to fix the root cause by strengthening that digestive fire and calming the whole system down. Okay, this all sounds great in theory, but how do we actually do it? Let's get into the playbook. Simple, sustainable habits you can start using every single day.
First up in the playbook is strengthening your digestion, and it's simpler than you think. Try to eat at consistent times. Your body loves a routine. Opt for warm foods when you can. They're just easier to digest. Sprinkle in some spices like ginger or cumin. And here's a big one. Stop eating when you're about 80% full. You got to give your stomach some room to work. Next, let's tackle that stress. You don't need some hour-long retreat. Just start your day with a few deep breaths. Try some simple stretches at your desk. Even 10 minutes of quiet meditation can fundamentally lower your stress and sharpen your focus for the whole day. Now, this next one might just be the biggest game changer. Mindful eating. It just means stepping away from your screen. When you eat, just eat. Pay attention to the food, chew thoroughly, and really listen for your body's fullness cues. It's a small shift that pays huge dividends. And finally, let's talk about a little gentle detox. Sipping warm water throughout the day helps flush out that ama we mentioned. Herbal teas with ginger or fennel can really soothe digestion. And a really important one, aim to be asleep before 11 p.m. This aligns with your body's natural repair cycle. So you start integrating these small habits. What's the payoff? Let's talk about the return on this wellness investment, because it directly impacts your professional life in a huge way.
So what happens when you start weaving these habits into your life? The results aren't just subtle, they are tangible, they are powerful, and they show up in both your health and your productivity.
First, you can say goodbye to that 3 p.m. slump. When your digestion is efficient, you're actually extracting more energy from your food, which leads to this sustained vitality all day long. Remember that brain fog? It just starts to clear. A calm nervous system and a clean internal environment directly translate to better mental clarity and, yes, improved productivity at work.
You'll also see this powerful ripple effect. A calmer day and a body that's aligned with its natural clock leads to deeper, more restorative sleep. You actually start waking up feeling genuinely refreshed.
And for many people, this is the most tangible benefit. Those persistent issues like acidity, bloating, and constipation, they just begin to fade away as you address the root cause, that weak digestive fire.
And if you take just one thing away from this, please let it be this. This isn't about a radical diet or some impossible fitness plan. It is all about the powerful cumulative effect of small, consistent choices that you can actually sustain.
So I'll leave you with this question to chew on. What's one small habit you could start tomorrow that would make a real difference in your day? Because that, right there, is where this entire transformation begins.